Today, you're going to learn how to make the Polynesian Punch Mocktail Fruit Tea using syrup. Polynesian Punch is one of my top sellers. Hey guys, I'm Kristin, the Bubble Tea Queen, and welcome to my channel. Welcome to the special series on how to make boba drinks using restaurant-grade bubble tea shop ingredients. I've owned a bubble tea shop for the last 5 years, and in this video, I'm going to share with you one of my recipes. Now just remember that not all syrups are exactly the same. Some are sweeter, some have different flavors, so just bear that in mind when you're following this recipe at home. The Polynesian Punch is a mocktail, which means it has a few different flavors in it. The flavors that we will be using today are mango, strawberry, and pineapple. Each pump distributes 7 milliliters, which is about 1/4 of an ounce. For the two flavors of strawberry and pineapple, I will be using an industry standard bubble tea shop scoop. This is about 15 milliliters, which is approximately 1/2 an ounce. First, we will do 1 pump of the mango syrup. Again, this is about 1/4 of an ounce. Next, we want 1 scoop of strawberry syrup, which is about 15 milliliters or 1/2 an ounce. And lastly, we're also going to do a scoop of pineapple syrup, which again is about 15 milliliters or 1/2 an ounce. The reason why some of my syrups are in pumps versus pour is simply how thick the syrup is. The thicker the syrup, it needs to be poured versus pumped. The Polynesian Punch doesn't use any fructose, and the reason why is simply because there's so much syrup, it really doesn't need the extra sugar. If you were making this drink at a shop, you would simply take your measuring jug, come over to your green tea dispenser of pre-brewed loose leaf tea, and measure out the exact measurement that you need. However, I know many of you will be making this drink from home, so I'm very quickly going to show you how to make a small batch of green tea for this drink. I get my green tea loose leaf and in very large restaurant-sized packages. As you can see here, it is beautiful and it smells amazing. The green tea I prefer to use for all of my fruit teas is a jasmine green tea. It has a really nice scent, and the jasmine flavor complements the green tea really nicely. Today, I will be brewing the green tea in a glass teapot. But if you're at home and you're using a loose leaf tea, you can simply brew it in a glass, and then you'll use a strainer when you pour it out. That way none of the little tea leaf bits will get in your drink. But of course, if any of them do, it's totally fine. It's actually very healthy. So for this recipe, we're going to use 1½ tablespoons of the jasmine green tea with 150 milliliters of hot water. That hot water should be about 70 degrees Celsius or 158 Fahrenheit, and 150 milliliters is approximately 5 ounces. Perfect, exactly 70 degrees Celsius. Give it just a quick swirl to make sure that all of the tea leaves are combined with the water. And pop the lid on top and set a timer for 7 minutes. Now that our green tea is ready, we simply want to pour it into our measuring jug. We need 100 milliliters of the green tea, or about 3.5 ounces. And you might be wondering, well, why did we put in 150 milliliters of hot water if we only need 100? That's because the tea leaves will absorb a lot of the water. So actually, from that pour, we got 100 milliliters, and there's probably not much liquid left because the rest of it was absorbed by the leaves. Now that we have our 100 milliliters of green tea, which again is about 3½ ounces, we want to add 50 milliliters of hot water on top of that, which is just over 1½ ounces. This will give us our 150 milliliters of hot liquid in total, which is again approximately 5 ounces. Now we are going to add this to the syrups. And we want to give this a quick stir to make sure the syrup is completely dissolved. This also helps to bloom the flavors and make them really bright, vibrant, and taste delicious. This next step is for us to add ice to our hot Polynesian Punch mixture. We are also going to be adding 4 frozen pineapple chunks. The idea is when we put the pineapple in with the ice and we shake it in the shaker machine, the pineapple actually breaks down into little bits and it's really delicious when it comes up your straw. And of course, at the very end, there might be a few pineapple chunks left that you can use your straw to pick out and eat. This is one reason why this drink is so popular. So I have my 4 pineapple chunks and then about a half a scoop of ice. If you have large ice cubes, this would be about 4 or 5 large ice cubes. When the ice melts, it will bring the liquid up to 350 milliliters, which is approximately 12 ounces, and that's exactly what we want it to be. Here is our shaker machine. You can also do this step by hand. Simply, we're gonna put on the middle part of the shaker and then the top part. We're going to shake it either by hand for a minute or 2, or with a shaker machine for about 30 seconds. You'll know it's done when you get a really nice condensation around the outside of the shaker. All right, my topping of choice today with the Polynesian Punch is the lychee bubbles, also known as lychee juice balls. So with the Polynesian Punch, when we pour it into the cup, we actually want to do something called a dirty pour. This means that we don't strain it through the top section. We actually open up the middle section as well, and we pour the entire thing in. And again, the reason why is because during the shaking process, those frozen pineapples broke up, and we want to actually pour them directly in. If we only did it this way, it would strain out all of those chunky pineapple bits. And that's one of the best parts of this drink. Perfect, look at that. Nothing left over, and it filled up exactly to the top. Now, before you seal it, again, just double check that there's no liquid around this flat part rim of the cup, and here we go. Check that seal. Ooh, this looks good, guys. Look at all of those pineapple bits that broke off and those big chunky pineapples at the top. We got our little juice bubbles at the bottom. Looking good. See, this seal is on tight. You can squeeze it, shake it, nothing's happening. All we need to do now is just pop in our straw. Well guys, thanks for joining me today as I made this delicious Polynesian Punch Mocktail fruit tea using syrup. There's only one thing left to do. Let's give it a try. This drink is amazing. It's such a nice tropical sort of feel to it with the strawberry and mango and pineapple. And then like I said, you get those little pineapple bits that come up through the straw. It is very exciting. I look forward to you making this drink at home. Please feel free to leave a comment below. And while you're there, why not subscribe? I bring you a brand new drink video every week. See you soon.